Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good morning, Carolyn. It's very windy here. Good morning, Nancy. And Amy, nice to see you again. Andrea, good to see you. Yesterday, was it only yesterday that I went live? It was also windy, but it's windier this morning. So if that interferes with the sound, let me know. I usually have all my cards in stacks on the table, but because it's so windy, they're in my bag, so I'm gonna have to manage my cards differently when it's time for our collective card reading. So, welcome. Good morning, Kathy. Thank you for the feedback, Amy. Yeah, my mic is under here and it has a wind thing on it anyway, so yeah, the weather's interesting. My computer's moving from the wind, so that's what that is. It's interesting because this is the hottest month of the year in this area that I live in, Mexico. Driest and hottest month. And it's interesting because right now, this is a chilly wind. So it's nice and unexpected. And of course, we can't control the weather, as Michael Singer has taught us. Wonderful, Kathy. Did you start today on a cleanse? For those, I know there's a couple of you here already that know Anthony William, medical medium. I did my version of his 28-day healing cleanse. I went 44 days, raw fruits and vegetables. And now I'm doing another of his cleanses called the 369, which is there's levels you can do. I'm doing the 100% raw version. So I've already had a ton of celery juice this morning. And so I'm thinking I might have to, and I had a bunch of lime water, so there may need to be a bathroom break or two here. So anyway, we'll work with what's here as we always do. So thank you. Great, Kathy, starting tomorrow. What's interesting is, so I have a background as a colon hydrotherapist, and over 20 years ago, I was practicing colonics, and so, I help people with cleansing and detoxing, and that was my lifestyle in my life, and it's just so interesting to see the growth and change within me, because back then, this was a long time ago, it was very difficult for me to do and follow through with cleanses or detoxes or fasts of any kind. And I think the longest I did was 9 days or maybe 11 or something like that, just a raw food diet. And in January, I woke up one day, I knew I was mentally getting ready, but I just woke up and I'm I'm starting this. And I went 44 days. So it just shows the evolution of the soul and I would say also self-love, because self-discipline equals self-love, and being able to commit and follow through. And just what I sense now is that whenever I make a decision, when it's I can trust myself that I will do it, and there is this foundation of knowing that I can and I will, that was missing before. So that's huge. Hi, Kiana. Nice to see you. Hello. Happy Mother's Day, Lisa, Jessica, and all of you. Happy Mother's Day if you celebrate that. If you don't, that's okay too. And in whatever way, whatever relationship you have with that person in your life, and or not. Yeah, celebrating with you however you choose or not to. So thanks, Andrea. Excuse me. I know many of you personally, and I think most of you are mothers, the ones that I'm connected with one-on-one or have been. So Lisa, it's not a doctor, the cleanse. It's he's called the medical medium, and his name is Anthony Williams. So he's popularized celery juice. That's his main claim to fame. He's popularized celery juice around the world. So if you know about it, it's because of him. So yeah, he has great protocols and things, and people get a lot of results. Hello, Rose. Welcome. Monica, nice to see you. Great. So, and if you are new, please say hello. If you'd like. I'm Natalie, Spiritual Life Coach, Reiki Master Teacher in Mexico. Yes. I mentioned this yesterday because it's top of mind for me as I've been creating it in the past few days, and I just sent this out to my newsletter this week, that I have created a valuable PDF resource called The End of Self-Gaslighting. The End of Self-Gaslighting. And in all of the newsletters I sent, and sometimes I just give updates and sometimes I will offer a resource or something, I think this has been the resource that has gotten the most people wanting a copy of it. So if the title even is compelling for you, The End of Self-Gaslighting, send me a message and I'll get it to you. And it's, I mean, I am what I do and I do what I am, and meaning that you've heard me talk about this stuff this year, and especially if you're a coaching client, and it's because, it's the work that I'm doing myself, and yeah, it's so powerful because we here in Insight Timer especially, we all know self-compassion. We all know we should practice self-compassion, or that it's, why and the benefits, and yet it's easy to say it in your head or to conceptualize, intellectualize it, but to actually have a felt experience of it is a whole different matter, and it's that journey from the head to the heart. So this practice that I've developed, and my coach helped me with it, just practicing it with me, and then I started with myself and others. Yeah, I'm excited because I and others, you actually feel something. You actually feel a result. You feel a soothing. You feel a relaxation. You feel an open, or me, in my heart. So it's really powerful. So if you want that, send a message. Kiana, I am near Guadalajara on the biggest lake in Mexico. So, and I will be here. Yeah. No plan to go anywhere. This will be my home base for the foreseeable future. I will be traveling back to Asia, and I mean, who knows what'll happen, and I'm feeling like this is my home base for now. I've lived here before. This is my third or fourth time living in this town, and I've always loved it. So yeah, it's bliss. And there are still ideas and in motion for a retreat here. It's evolved. Me and Alicia Bliss over time. And yeah, so it's just, I'm looking for venues at this point, and then I'm going to check their availability, and then so that I can know what dates there might be available. So if you want to be notified, and I know there's some of you here that I do have on my list to notify when I have those details solid. If you're interested in coming to Mexico to retreat on the biggest lake in Mexico, it will be spiritual. It will be, I mean, we are in the culture here, so it will be cultural. Yeah, send me a message. It's going to be amazing. Hi, Laura. No, I haven't. I've never even heard of that, Monica. I'll check it out. So here's my bag. So let's start with Michael Singer. Actually, okay, or not, these cards. I thought I put them in here very organized. Okay, well, I pulled a Michael Singer card out of the bag, and that's going to be the card. So we're going to look at our Sacred Rebels. Have you been to Lake Chapala, Monica? Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I think I'll never let that happen again. Yeah, I can see it from here. It's right over there. So, good morning, Duchess. Awesome, Monica. Send me a message so that I can connect with you. Because I'm not sure if we are connected and how, and so that I can connect you on the screen with wherever you are offline or in another area. So hi, Angela, nice to see you again. So Michael Singer says, your God is in ecstasy and there's nothing you can do about it. And if God is in ecstasy, I wonder what he sees when he looks at you. Wow. I'm going to say that again. Your God is in ecstasy and there's nothing you can do about it. And if God is in ecstasy, I wonder what he sees when he looks at you. Share your ahas with that. It reminds me, y'all that have followed me a while know I got to meet him in person last year, and I was having a very powerful spiritual experience, like the entire visit, to where I was just crying my eyes out nonstop. And so even when I got to meet him and he signed my card deck, I was just crying and crying. And he said, God wants you more than you want God. God wants you more than you want God. And that's what this reminds me of. I don't 100% agree with like the semantics of that in a sense, and in this as well. And also I love the sentiment, I love the energy, feeling one with spirit. Kathy, Laura, feeling loved, loving all. I mean, it's really, the way I think about it is, it's the nature of God. To me, God is the energy of love. So what is the nature of that energy? It's going to have its nature. you know, like a snake has its nature that if it's threatened, it's going to strike. That's its nature for survival. Everything has its nature. So God's nature is love. God's nature is ecstasy. So, all right, let's get into Sacred Rebels. How many of y'all, love this deck? The cards are a little bit, it's fine, upside down and whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay. So everyone take a deep breath in. If you're joining in, this is a collective reading. So if you're hearing my voice, this is for you. If it feels like a resonant message that lands, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. Don't forget to follow me here on Insight Timer. I'm also double live streaming this event right now into my YouTube channel, so follow me there. And you can also catch the replay there at the end. It will be under the live section of my channel. All my live streams are there, plus they're in playlists. So, yeah. Follow me, Facebook, Insta, website, all that good stuff. Check out my meditations, my group, Natalie's Healing Circle. Conscious connections. Conscious connections. So this reminds me of the Three of Pentacles already, which is a card of community and collaboration, connection. So let's see. I love this little bird perch here. Yesterday, a few times a bird came up there, so I imagine y'all can see that. I love the nature here. So, I'm just going to, you know, if you guys have experienced this card pull before, you know the messages are very dense and deep in this guidebook. I may read it all, I may just pick out parts. Sure, Laura. It's so windy. I don't want to take my hand off it. The thing. So, yeah, there. Conscious connections. So, take what resonates. There is a call for more intimacy in your immediate relationships. There is an opening for heart-to-heart communication that can salvage and restore a broken relationship or friendship if you're willing to honor your differences and look to what unites you. So this is a very specific message about you and your close relationships. If it's with a romantic partner, spouse, or a close friendship. If you have asked to experience a more sacred connection with people who truly get you and want to play life with you, then this oracle is confirmation that this manifestation is on its way to you now. So if you have been yearning and longing for more deeper connections, sacred connections, maybe with, you know, maybe it's not here in your life, or maybe there are connections in your life that you want that with, this is confirmation that this is coming. So sounds like some people this resonates with. It may or may not be obvious at first, but kindred spirits are going to enter your life to help you connect with your deeper feelings and creativity. They will give wings to your inspirational ideas and big dreams. So there may be a component for some of you that it might be a creative collaboration, which doesn't mean it can't be a friend or a romantic partner or even your spouse that you've been married to for 30 years. When your energy shifts in your state of being, and you start seeing things through a different lens, in living from a different place, new opportunities and new possibilities are going to open up that weren't there before. Because if you've been in a relationship for a long time and it's stagnant and it's comfortable, familiar, it's so easy to just coast. And we are where we are, and this is saying there's like either new energy coming into current connections that could be long-standing, or there's going to be new people coming in. Hi, Drazel. Shalom, Elisa. Hello, Butterfly Rain, Ellen. So this is very specific today. Like, I don't think I've ever seen this deck be like so specific. So if this is resonating, like, take it in. If you've been asking for healing in your current friendships or other immediate relationships, know that this can happen through your willingness to express your true feelings and allow the situation to either fall apart or come together according to the greater workings of life. Sometimes webs that have joined people together are broken, and that's appropriate, as people may outgrow what once held them together. Sometimes the ties that bind us together are so strong that they are able to withstand a great deal of pressure and still remain intact. The web of connection between us will sever or sustain based on the higher wisdom of life itself. Either way, healing happens in the resolution of our feelings, and we are once again able to feel free, forgive, and be ready to move on to the next stage of relating, either with a person who has been in connection with us for a time or someone new. This oracle asks you to remain open to healing connections and to allow people to be close to you. Trust in the process that draws people in and out of your life. Resist nothing and seek wisdom in all. This reminds me of a coaching client I had, and they were in a marriage, or are, and we've been working together like 3 years now, 2 or 3 years, and this person has evolved and changed so much, and the spouse is not evolving and changing at the same pace or level. And so it is starting to, there's likely going to be separation. So that comes to mind with this here, and just with the other messages that are already coming through from Spirit about this reading today for the collective. That, we've all heard this, like, if you don't grow together, you will grow apart. That sort of a thing. And it doesn't mean one person's better or worse. It just is. The way I see it, like, if you look at it in a vibrational way, people are not vibrating at the same level anymore, at the same frequency, so they are just naturally going to grow apart and repel. So, and there's always opportunity. so windy. And yeah, so that resonates, Rose. Kiana feels that. Drazel, appreciate you sharing. So yeah, I mean, what this message is saying, it's not like it's bad if people part ways, or it's good if they don't, right? So releasing this like black and white, good, bad, right, wrong paradigm about it, of just like it's the evolution. We're always evolving and changing and growing, and we will come together in connection. You know, you've probably heard, for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And if you believe that we have more than one incarnation than the one that we're currently in, then, you know, if maybe some of you are feeling like, oh no, I don't want to let go, or, you know, it helps me at least, and it helps people to consider, like, it's never goodbye forever. And I mean, this of course applies in death. I mean, everything. And not to say any of this is easy if that's what's occurring. I had a what the trendy words nowadays are, like, conscious uncoupling, which is great. I love the concept. A conscious uncoupling. My best friend a few years ago, I mean, it wasn't like totally conscious, but it also sort of was. We had a uncoupling of friendship, and it was very difficult. And also, what was so powerful about the experience is that because we both are, wherever we are on our journey, like, evolved enough to have some emotional maturity, intelligence. You know, we love each other as friends. It was a beautiful experience in that we were radically honest with each other, and although we didn't move past, you know, we didn't reconcile, we parted ways as friends. We both did it so consciously and lovingly, and with such honesty, that I still love her and wish her well. And there's still a part that hurts, of course. I mean, if we think about it, we're all just children here. We're all just children running around in adult bodies, you know. So the part that hurts is, you know, little Natalie, who, you know, is sad her best friend is gone, you know, and that's okay. One thing, there's a book by Gay Hendricks, called The Big Leap, which is an amazing book. And one thing that stuck out about what he says is he says, if there is to be a chance at reconciliation, both parties must be 100% responsible for everything, and for their, you know, there can't be any, it's your fault, if only you would do this, like, I can't because of you, like, none of that. If any of that is present, there's a low percentage that the relationship will survive. So both parties must be 100% responsible. And that's what I feel happened with me and my best friend. So I'm seeing a lot of messages come in. Let me go back because I wanted to check that. Welcome, Maria. Hi, Madeline. Melissa, so this is resonating with many people. Rose. Yeah, I mean, romance is difficult. Breakups, heartbreaks, totally. Yeah, great question, Madeline. I mean, I think again, I think the answer is what I'm saying here, or a answer is, if both parties are 100% responsible for their part, and both parties are 100% committed to making it work. So in this example of this client who is looking at separation, you know, there's no longer a commitment there. And in our years of coaching together, you know, this is what I would bring in, is this idea of, you know, you can't have one foot in and one foot out. Like, if you are going to stay in this marriage, you get to choose. I am fully committed. It's a different energy. And both people need to have that. So regardless of if one person's spiritual or not or whatever, if both people are 100% committed, then they'll find a way. So there is a healing process, and so I want you all who this is resonating with to take in these words. And if you want, like what I've read, like this message from here, send me a private message. I'll send you the link to this card. So you can put your hand on your heart. I surrender all my relationships into unconditional love and ask that the truly nourishing, soul enriching, expansive, and nurturing relationships be healed and drawn closer to my heart. I ask that the draining, depleting, destructive, or toxic relationships be drawn out of my life. Through unconditional love, mercy, grace, and my own free will, so be it. Now I want you to imagine that you can breathe golden light in through the front of your body and out through the back of your body. Imagine you're breathing in golden light through the front of the body and out through the back of the body. And now repeat that image with a rich emerald green light. Breathing in, breathing out. Finally, visualize, perceive, or see a beautiful beating heart with luminous green and gold parrot wings on either side of it. Imagine, perceive, or feel that there are many other beautiful beating hearts with parrot wings of different colors, and they are all flying around together. Enjoy the playfulness of this vision, and in your own time, you can let that go. So if you want that process, and just send a message. So very powerful message. Yeah, I'll share the image of the card. Conscious connections. Hi, Jeff. Yeah, and sometimes time and space heals. Time and space can be great apart because it will bring clarity. It can bring clarity either way. And then it's a process. One of my closest friends right now has been with their partner like 5 years, and there's been some ups and downs and some, pauses recently, and, they've come back together. And I mean, you have to go through your own journey, and it's not binary. It's not black and white. It's not, I mean, there can be a process of either, you're growing apart over time, or you're growing together and it brings you closer. Yeah, Madeline. And, I mean, there's one thing about having shared values that doesn't mean you have to have the same beliefs. But shared values and compatibility is really important, because if we're thinking about romance, right? Like if you first meet somebody, there's an attraction. There's attraction, and if it evolves into something, it'll be attraction, connection, chemistry. And see, most people, when they're dating, will stop there. Like, oh my God, oh, I feel so good when I'm around them. We have the best chemistry. But the last thing is compatibility. And people aren't concerned about that in the beginning whenever it is feeling so good. And then it's like not until the honeymoon phase is over that then compatibility becomes important. And then that's when people can run into issues. So, compatibility is very important. And whatever that is, like, do you have the same lifestyle? Is one person loving to go out partying every night of the week while the other is getting up and meditating at 6 a.m., which that could still work. And, it can be challenging. I was talking to somebody recently, because I married a man in AA. I've been sober a long time. We met in AA and we married. And, there's something to be said about having something shared like that. Like if it's having the same beliefs, religious, or if you go to the same church, or maybe you met because you were on the volleyball team together or whatever, right? But to have, especially more like something like AA and recovery, there's definitely something to be said about that too. Hi, Cream. Welcome. Nice to see you. Let's see. This wind is crazy and my little scarf is falling off. And for like butterfly rain, being single, if you like wherever you are, if it's single, if it's partnered, if it's dating, if it's widowed, divorced, like, the most important thing, we want to be at peace, right? Wherever we are. Ooh, interesting, Amy. This is very interesting timing with your childhood best friend. And that's interesting because I think it was yesterday my childhood best friend popped into my head, because she has like 5 kids, and I was like, oh, for Mother's Day, maybe I could say hello. So that's interesting. All right. Hi, Monica. Good to see you. We've got 2 Monicas here now. Awesome, Madeline. It sounds like you went consciously into your connection. So let's get some clarification on this. I'm going to get the light seers out. I'm going to try. And we'll get some deeper messages. And butterfly rain, I think my take on that is about men are too flip-floppy in a relationship. I hear you. I think too, as far as like the idea of commitment nowadays, it's very different now, because of technology and dating apps and sites and just the availability of choice. That commitment, it's a lot more difficult for people, and maybe more men, I don't know, but for people to commit because of the amount of choice. And it's the same too, like Esther Perel is a world-renowned, relationship therapist, and she talks about, like in modern times things are so different. Back in the old days it was about survival. You needed to find a spouse, you needed to start procreating so that you could have hands to help on the homestead, and there was just, you were limited by the number of people that you would ever be around in your life. You might stay in the same area and never leave, and so it was just so different then. Yeah. Hi, Friendly Paws. And yeah, of course, the physical safety of sexuality nowadays. You have considered leaving, Madeline. Yeah, and I mean, there's benefits to all paths. Being single, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to consider anybody else. Being partnered, it's nice to have shared experiences and, etc. So let's see. Hi, Claire. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I haven't really talked much about, shoot, oh well, this sort of thing in the live streams, which is fine, but I'm glad it's coming up. Obviously, there's a lot of, it's relevant for many of you. So let's see what deeper messages Spirit has through the cards. Light Seers Tarot. And then we'll close with some Reiki and Ancestral Clearing. And I will do, I'll clear around all of these themes, for those of you that are here around heartbreak or, connections ending of any kind, or, working through issues with spouses, romantic partners, all of that. So let's see. You can't make this shit up. As I always say, Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups in tarot, is the energy of, dating, romance, and, the early phases of dating. Ooh, I better hold on to this card or I'll never see it again. Oh, that's right, Carolyn. I was, as I was somewhere earlier already in the live stream, I was like, oh yeah, we've got the full moon in Scorpio tomorrow. So that is something to consider here. Full moons are about releasing and letting go, and this one in Scorpio is very deep. So it might be for some of you patterns in relationships, letting go of patterns. It might be letting go of hurts. It might be letting go of a person for some of you. And if you follow the moon and you do the rituals and things, the new moon is always that's where you do your intention and manifestation creation, and then the full moon is kind of the you know, the bookend of that. So I know there's some of you here that are way better versed in this than me. So if you want to add to anything, please do. So I feel like, you know, we have different people here having different situations. So I feel like, you know, if you are single and looking, that there's going to be somebody coming in. If you are already partnered, the invitation here is like, bring this energy back into your relationship, or see where you could get creative. It might be asking your partner on a date night. It might be getting creative, like surprising them, maybe surprising them with something, or taking them to a place as a surprise, maybe where you first met, or something to tie back into this Page of Cups energy. I'm just gonna hide these. Okay, let's see what else we have. Yeah, great question, Maria. So those of you that are single and not looking, then this is your invitation to do this with yourself. Self-love, taking yourself on a date. Hi, Helen. Scorpio is about transformation, deep transformation, what's hidden coming to light around the emotions. Generally, Scorpio and others may chime in. Okay. Three of Wands. So this is a card of planning and looking forward. So again, this energy of planning something, I feel like this is just confirming that. Looking forward into the future with hope, with vision, having intentions. And again, like if you're partnered, this might be planning something together. I'm seeing these, you know, two wands very prominent. The third one's down here. So it reminds me too, for those of you that are maybe thinking about your connection, if it's marriage or whatever, of like, there's that quote, like, are you, like, to be looking in the same direction, looking from the same place in the same direction, looking together, right? So, you know, if there's an issue of compatibility, or you're just totally not on the same page, you know, one person might be looking this way and one might be looking this way. So you both get to, you know, check in on this, be looking in the same direction. And, you know, like that's kind of like a mindset. And then the message would be like, plan something. Maybe it's time to plan a trip. Maybe even just for the two of you. Or if it's something like Amy brought up about, you know, calling their childhood best friend, you know, I mean, maybe there's some, I mean, this can be applied to anything platonic or romantic. Hi, Yule, welcome. So, oops. Okay, I see this at the bottom of the deck, y'all. The Three of Swords. So, for some of you, you're dealing with heartbreak underneath all of this and loss. So this could be informing kind of what's happening at the surface, or like in real time. Underneath, there's still this energy influencing this part of your life. And it's okay. And, you know, my heart goes out to you. And it's interesting. Thank you, Drazel. so sorry to hear that, and thank you for sharing. And so this definitely would be the energy of a Three of Swords, is the loss of your two boys. I don't know how to pronounce Noach and Micah. Sorry for your loss. And yeah, so for those of you that are like, having Mother's Day thoughts and feelings, if they're celebratory or bittersweet, I hear you. I actually was thinking of posting myself. I had a stillborn baby. I was 8.5 months. And I thought about posting about that because Mother's Day is, and Father's Day too, like, people are having all sorts of different kinds of experiences. So we get to, for those of you who choose to, give voice to that as well. So that's sort of a little, not little, but that's sort of an aside, but is relevant for this energy. And, it all ties together in the spirit messages that we're sharing today. Thank you. Thank you, Kiana. Thank you. And Drazel and everybody. And those, if you're here and you're not saying a word and you're in that Three of Swords, it's, totally okay. You're welcome. You're not alone. Thank you. Oh, wow. Yeah. Any sort of loss is a loss. Yep. We'll just say that. Maria, condolences on your loss of your mother here in the U.S. Well, I'm not in the U.S., but in the U.S. it's Mother's Day today. Mexico, it was yesterday. So, yeah. So, circling back to the reading. Let me just kind of tune back into all of these wonderful messages that are coming through. I'm just feeling like love from Source for all of us, wherever we are, whatever we're up against. So even this Queen of Wands is not really a traditional mother energy in the tarot deck, but Queen is more of a, older woman of a mother's age. So how this ties into this Page of Cups, Three of Wands, Queen of Wands energy. Yeah, as I said, for some of you, it's about maybe rekindling the spark from before in your relationships or friendships. For some of you, it's self-care, planning something. Like I said, this is a card of planning and looking ahead and looking forward. And I feel like this is more like embodying the energy of taking action on this. So not just letting it stay in a plan or an intention, but actually following through. And two, like remembering why you're doing this. So if you're in a relationship that you've questioned, remembering why. Like there's a fire in her palm that she's looking at and she's like, wow. So like remembering and celebrating that spark, if it's within a connection or if it's within yourself. And at the bottom of the deck here is the Devil. So again, I feel like underneath all of this, there's some shadow, like the Scorpio, that's what Scorpio brings out, is the stuff underneath. So the Three of Swords that was at the bottom, now this Devil that's at the bottom. The Devil is about fear. The Devil is about addiction. The Devil is about, can be like limiting mindsets that we get stuck into, victim mindset, things like that. So again, underneath there's these hidden energies, subconscious energies, things that are informing, the stuff at the top of like, what am I going to do in my life right now? What am I going to plan? What am I going to carry out? So, yes, Madeline, you can go in and out. So I will be here, and we are going to get into the Reiki and Ancestral Clearing now. So, yeah. I want to read the... Oh, and look, she's got a black cat here. I forgot. So I know some of you said you loved being single with your pets. So I'm going to look at the Queen of Wands affirmation, as I do sometimes. And then we'll get into the Reiki and Ancestral Clearing. So you can go ahead and get settled in. Don't forget to follow me here on Insight Timer. Give a donation if you feel called, if this is helpful. Follow me everywhere. This is also on YouTube right now. So yeah, here is the Queen of Wands. And then the affirmation is beautiful. I fill my world with light. I fill my world with light. So with, the shadow, with the past, with the Three of Swords, with the heartbreak, with the loss, with the addiction, with all of those lower vibrational energies, it's like yes and. I say that in my coaching a lot. It's like yes, all of that, and this too. And I fill my world with light. I fill my world with light. And that reminds me of what we started with Michael Singer. Your God is in ecstasy, and there's nothing you can do about it. And if God is in ecstasy, I wonder what she sees when he looks at you. Light, ecstasy, light, bliss, joy. Thank you for the donations, everybody. Laura, Maria, Kathy, appreciate that. Okay. And if you want any of these descriptions for any of these cards, send me a message. I mentioned earlier, if you missed it, I just created a PDF I sent to some clients in my newsletter called The End of Self-Gaslighting. If that sounds interesting, send me a message. And I also mentioned solidifying Mexican retreat plans. So if you want to come to retreat in Mexico with me and Alicia Bliss, fellow Insight Timer teacher who's been with me here live, and we've traveled Asia together, as many of you know her, send me a message. Ooh, nice. Amazing. All right. So, glasses off means I cannot see the screen and what it says. So, if you comment, I will see it when we finish. Go ahead and close your eyes. And just welcome everything that's here. This session today, all of the messages have been very deep and varied as well because there's so many of you here. So just allowing all of this to settle in. The energy, I fill my world with light, the beautiful Queen of Wands, Page of Cups, Three of Wands, conscious connections, the ecstasy, and also holding space for the Three of Swords, the energy of heartbreak, devastation, the devil energy, if there's anybody stuck into a person, a situation, fear, mindsets, addictions. And just being in your body, coming into the body, into the breath, and holding space for all of this. And space is being held always, of course, by spirit and our spiritual teams individually and as a collective. So just feeling that energy of being held, feeling the energy of God looking at you in ecstasy, as Michael Singer said. And this is the human experience, all of it, all flavors, all sensations, all emotions, thoughts, feelings, releasing labels of judgment, of good, bad, right, and wrong, and just the tapestry of human experience is all of it. So just relaxing into that, surrendering, letting go, and relaxing behind it. Feeling yourself settle into your body, into a place of groundedness, somewhere deep inside your seat of self. That unshakable presence that you are, that never changes or wavers, the I am, the witness, the observer that can hold space and be with all of this. And just being that loving, present witness, grounded, unshakable, seeing through the eyes of Source, seeing with light. And just breathing into that, wherever you imagine that I am space to be for you. And just allowing the Reiki energy healing to move in through and around you, knowing that your higher self is drawing that energy in the perfect way for you. I am a channel for that energy. I'm not giving it to you. You are drawing it in if you choose. And just feel that beautiful, loving energy. I'm also activating the energy of Solvana, which is a powerful transformative energy. If you choose to receive that, it helps facilitate new beginnings, transformations, opening the third eye, the sixth chakra, which is perfect for the themes of today and the themes of the full moon tomorrow. So just allowing these energies of healing and transformation. Some of you might feel sensations in different parts of the body, energy, sensations, movements, heat, cold. You might feel emotions. And just be that witness, that loving witness to all of it. Some of you may feel sensations in the third eye. Traditionally is known to be in between the eyebrows and the forehead. I will also do ancestral clearing silently. If you care to receive that, just have the intention to receive and be open. And I'll close with a short ancestral clearing prayer. For everyone hearing this message right now, hearing my voice, all of their family members, all of their relationships, all of their ancestors, and all of their relationships through all relevant time, space, and dimension. For all hurts, wrongs, judgments, and burdens, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, sexual, and financial, through thought, word, or deed. Please help them all, forgive each other, forgive themselves, forgive all people, and all people forgive them completely and totally, please and thank you. Please help them love and bless each other, love and bless themselves, be at peace with each other and at peace with themselves, please and thank you, please and thank you, please and thank you. You can come back to a wakeful state. Thank you all for joining. Stay tuned, follow me, give a donation if you'd like. Reach out, YouTube, Facebook, Insta, website, all that good stuff. This will be available as a replay on YouTube, and it is being live streamed there. So you can stay tuned for future live streams that will be scheduled very, very soon. And reach out, send me a message. I know I've invited some of you to do that so you can do that through Insight Timer or any other channel. So thank you all. Thank you, Jackie, Drazel. Much love. Hi, Jen. Thank you. You're welcome. Glad it was powerful. Have a wonderful day.